I would say the best thing about it is it's another way for people in the community to talk. That's my whole thing. Engagement with my clanmates, engagement with others in the community, having these conversations, because without it, like, it's just another game that we could log into one day and not even care to log into the next day. These are the things that I know that without me inputting money into the game, I need to focus on in order to stay somewhat with the meta. Yeah, Raid Shadow Legends is the first time that I'm actively playing a game with a community. I feel like obviously Raid will make strides to make it as balanced as they can, but I don't think it's a Raid issue because there's so many other factors that come into it. Is a I want to win and not lose issue, which is a bigger conversation in itself.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Fateless podcast episode. Joining me from the Fateless team is going to be Sham and Dirk, and then our special guest for this episode is going to be HWZ. What is up, my man? Go ahead and tell people about yourself and what you do and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, I appreciate you guys inviting me on. I'm actually really honored because I know the work that you guys are doing is it's going to push the community I'm a part of, you know, in a way a lot of people are looking forward to it. So, you know, thank you guys for all the work that you're doing. But I'm H-Dub, you know, I'm a Raid Shadow Legends content creator. I've been doing that for a few years now. So I pretty much have a Raid background. I'm also a fourth grade teacher. So that's what I do during the day. And yeah, I'm a dad, I'm a father, you know, a husband, I'm married. And yeah. Just a casual
what do you teach?
Gamer.
Fourth grade teacher, or I guess in fourth
Primary.
grade is kind of like across the board.
It's all primary. So you know, math, ELA, science. Okay. We do a bit of everything.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're playing Raid, you're into math. It's just like it's just an official requirement. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Math is probably my favorite thing to do with the students. We do a lot of. They have this guy, he has this thing called Mysteries, right? Where you go through and you look at objects at various, you know, in various circumstances, and you try to guess based on a certain amount of, you know, clues that they give you, how many objects are like in a vase or in a cup or sitting on this whatever. So we do a lot of fun stuff. I've actually done it on stream with people before. They enjoy it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have.
And go ahead, James. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was just actually on a plane back. I've been traveling a bunch, and I was sitting next to somebody, and she got her laptop out, and she was like, "Oh, I'm trying to learn SQL," and it had like this SQL mystery. It was pretty cool, actually. Like, they literally, you know, they had a bunch of tables. She had to reference the tables, try to find out who it was like a murder mystery. But yeah, like that type of stuff. Gamified learning is awesome. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see that you're bringing it to the youth.
Yeah, that is awesome. You're quite well versed in doing it all. Now, my introduction to hearing about you, H-Dub, years ago was the Raidzilla video, which we're gonna link to it down below. If you haven't seen Raidzilla, it's a rap song that like Darth Micro and Jay Giggs.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's like this thing should have like 10 million views. It's so good.
I have like 500,000 of whatever views there are. I had that so many times. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can't stop watching this.
We are gonna need one of those for our game. So H-Dub, get ready. Yes. We are gonna need one of those for our game.
For sure.
Yeah. I'll have to come out of retirement for it, man. A lot of people have been asking me to do like music stuff. I kind of hung it up, man. I honestly gave up on the music thing a bit. Like once I got my new PC and I started to take content creation a bit more serious in the last year, I felt like, you know, I kind of needed to put some things on the back burner if I really wanted to hone in on just being a better creator, and music was one of those things. So, you know, obviously I still have, you know, all my equipment and things, but like I'm not paying for Pro Tools anymore. You know, I'm not paying for all of the software plugins and things that I had like at the time when I was doing Raidzilla, because at that time, you know, I was just getting started with content creation. And at that time, I was like full-time into music. So like I had a music studio that I had like built with my brother, and like all these things we invested in, and like it just, you know, things change. So
you gotta shift, man. You gotta pivot sometimes.
You gotta pivot, man.
Maybe we'll We should reach out to MTash to be like MTash. Collab.
Yeah.
He do music. Yeah.
We already have a Simon song. For those of you that haven't heard the Simon song, the Simon Leaks song, that's like definitely a lower production level than this Raidzilla thing. Like I think it's just like generated by it's generated by an AI.
Singing a karaoke or what?
No, have you heard this?
No,
I don't even know if you've heard this. No, so our creative director Mladen, was just making fun of, kind of like having a good time making fun of Simon. He's like, you know what? I found this AI where it like you just put in, one or two prompts and it'll make a song for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a Simon Leaks song and it's so funny. It's I guess Fiction's daughter, he keeps hearing her like humming it as she like walking through the house, like the Simon Leaks song.
I think it's a con her head.
Yeah.
Take over.
Look, so there it is. You guys get a collab.
If something is caught in somebody's head, that means somebody did something right.
Yeah, amazing. And then as like a raid creator or a raid player in this genre, what is kind of like the main thing that you focus on that really kind of gets you going as a player? Some people like PvE, some people like Arena, Clan Boss, Hydra.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy, all aspects of the game, but the thing that I would say I focus on the most is like CBC and Hydra Clash. Just, those clan-based parts of the game is just what I enjoy the most. And maybe that's just me, I don't know, being part addicted, part little bit of a gambler, part, me really liking to win things.
Okay.
I enjoyed PvP a ton when I had the time to push plat, but it's like, the time zone thing. Like I gave it like 6 months straight last year. And then I was like, all right, this next 6 months, I just need a break from it. And I don't know if I'll ever do it again, man, because that like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. thing, and then me teach in the morning, trying to do some content in between that time is nuts. So I did it for 6 months, but yeah, as far as like competitive, because I like to be competitive, if you're doing PvP or you're doing these other things where you're actually competing actively against other players in the game, I feel like that's the most exciting thing for me, So
I mean, it's like sport. It's not something that you can like mess around with. It's not something that you can just be like, yeah, I'll just come in and I mean, or even just whale your way into it. It's not good enough. You gotta like go. You gotta play hard. So that's sick. But so tell me about Hydra Clash though. Tell me about like what you love about Hydra Clash.
I like, we win, so I like that.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Yeah, if we were like losing, constantly losing, no, we would be having a totally different conversation. I would be here bashing Hydra Clash, but I feel like, and it's not like we have a ridiculously crazy clan, but we have strategically made sure that we are able to win consistently. And the thing that I like about it is, you're obviously getting newer rewards. There's newer gear sets from there. You're getting tomes for mythical champions. You're also getting the new shards as well. So these are the things that I know that without me inputting money into the game, I need to focus on in order to stay somewhat with the meta. Somewhat with not with the meta, because I'm far from it, but in order to somewhat stay with it, like I have to take these things serious, because stone skin is a thing. Protection set, 9-piece protection set is becoming a lot more important to have. Primal shards, getting mythical champions. Yes, it is becoming a thing that, you kind of have to do if you want to keep ahead. So that's why, I enjoy it. And it gives me something to chase, right? I always am looking for something to chase in the game, right? So
what's the worst thing about it? What's the best thing about it? What do you think they could improve? Like what's and then what do you think is like, oh my gosh, they've just like nailed it on this?
So I would say the worst thing about it is the rewards, right? And this is not me speaking about me. This is me speaking like for the community, right? So obviously everybody's going to get a reward for just doing the Hydra battle. But as far as Clash goes, I feel like, 1 through 5, everybody should be getting some sort of reward. And then I think they could do a bit of change there. Like it's not great. 1 through 3 gets a reward, and then even then, the rewards still aren't amazing. Whereas like week to week, you're still chasing this one protection set piece that you could very well never get, and you never make a 9-piece set. So I feel like they could do something to adjust the rewards a bit, like this. It's just, for the amount of time and the amount of effort that people are putting in, some of these people that are doing these comps and they're running for hours, week in, week out.
Every time we talk to Saf, he's like, yeah, I spent 9 hours on Hydra. I'm like, 9 hours?
Yeah, I'm trying to plan something. I got to do a Hydra stream. So
that's crazy to me.
Next 2 days, I'm out. I'm like, yeah, understandable.
So the rewards, I would say, is the worst part. And obviously, we can talk all day about balance and champions and things like that, but that's not Hydra exclusive. So I won't bring that fully into the conversation. That is a raid in general issue, is, just balance across the board. I would say the best thing about it is it's another way for people in the community to talk. And that is my, that's my whole thing. Engagement with my clanmates, engagement with others in the community, having these conversations, because without it, like, it's just another game that we could log into one day and not even care to log into the next day. But just having that accountability to a clan, having these people that, you've been playing with for years at a time is probably the best thing about it for me. Seeing what other people are able to accomplish, seeing, what other people have theory crafted and put together is just, it's fun. I'm a learner. I love being a student. As a teacher, I love being a student. I love learning new things. And so Hydra has probably taught me more about this game than anything else, because of how dynamic it is, because of, how many possibilities we have. We have these rotations, affinity changes, various, new champs coming into the game, new mechanics, all of the things that they've implemented over the last 2 years. And with, Hydra itself, I feel like has taught me a ton about the game.
So behind the scenes, I guess before we start the podcast, you're talking about you guys got like secret tech for Hydra and all that. I don't want to make you reveal your secrets. I'm more interested actually in, so you guys have a clan that actually communicates outside the game, I'm assuming, to just, put these strategies together to talk back. Like, how is this a group of guys that you knew before raid, or is this something that, like, just playing the game, he's somehow bumped it? I'm wondering how you were able to find this clan and form this community. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I was in a different cluster for the first 6 months of playing raid. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know that Discord was a thing.
6 months. Wow.
Yeah, I was fully mobile for 6 months. When I first started playing raid, and then I finally started playing on a Mac computer, and it was god awful, but I made it work a bit, and that's how I started creating content. I was in a clan for about 2 years, 2.5 years. After that point, I got in the actual clan. Somebody came and recruited me from Twitch, and they said, "Hey, man, you need to be in a good clan." And so I got in this clan.
Why are you playing alone?
It was like, hey, why are you? It was like, dude, look at what are you doing? Come here, get in this clan, and let's help you level up. And so I did that for 2 years before I kind of gave that clan an ultimatum, and I said, "Hey guys, we haven't been doing that well in CVC. This is before Hydra Clash even anything." And I said, guys, we haven't been doing that well. I'm going to give you guys 2 months more of me being here. Let's see if we can make some adjustments to win some more CVCs. And it just didn't work out. And so it's crazy at that time. Someone from SNA, the head of SNA, actually reached out to me, and a few other people as well. I was like, a few of the clans in the top 10 reached out to me, and I chose one based on, how they reached out, and I feel like I made the best decision.
That's pretty cool. So they found you then through your content creation, I guess?
Yeah, through my YouTube, they found me, yeah.
Okay, I remember, because there's not like great channels of communication within these types of games. Like, you get like a big world chat where there's like spam, and no one's utilizing that really to recruit. And even how, like, you can't share that much information in there. So I was just wondering, like, these like top end players all manage to congregate. Like, Are they coming from like Clash of Clans from way back in the day or something? And they've always stuck together? Because I think some clans do that, but yeah, no, that's a cool story then. So just randomly, you're just putting out some content. Some guy's just like, hey, come on, man.
What's going on over there?
Yeah.
Fix you. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Right.
And for like our project, for our game, is there something that sticks out to you? Like, gosh, you guys need to do this, because if this happened in this genre, it would really, make me and my clan and my friends more excited about the game. Some people have talked about, being able to face your friends in PvP for practice, or being able to see replays of your friends' matches. Like, is there something that really sticks out to you? Like, please, guys, bring this to your game.
I think any sort of clan related content, right? And I think you can look at it from a ton of different ways, because it looks different in every game, right? Some aspects are obviously the same, but it looks different, right? The polish on the outside is different. But I think that at the root of it, you have to have some sort of clan, something that we can all invest in as a team, right? Not just have it be an individual sport, something that I'm logging in by myself and I'm just thinking about me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's important for nurturing a community, right? Fostering and nurturing a community. You can't really do that without having people tackle some sort of obstacle together. And so, I mean, that's why I'm interested in it. And that's why I feel like, if you all implement it properly, it will work wonders for the game, just because you're now fostering a conversation that people will take to places that no one can imagine, right? So I think that, clan versus clan type situation, you have that in various games. That's obviously something that you all can do. Now, the mode in which people compete in that clan versus clan, right, is something that has to be fleshed out, right? Because you don't want it to just look like how Raid does it, or how Dragonair does it, right? Or how even Watcher of Realms does it with the, there's this many towers, and we need to hit all of these towers. Like, so obviously you won't find your own way to, implement it. But I feel like just having it itself is important, because it fosters so many conversations.
It's funny. So do you ever play games from the perspective of like, kind of like, I'm just gonna take this one pretty chill, or are you like 100% all? I mean, kind of like the rest of us, I guess. 100% all in when you start playing a game.
Yeah, I've tried to be casual.
It just doesn't work.
I've tried. It doesn't work, man. Like, it doesn't work. And like, I just stopped playing Watcher for that reason, because I can't play a game casually. I can't. And I know that it takes a considerable amount of time to play these games how I want to play them. And so I just had to stop, because it's like, all right, I'm back going hard at Raid. I'm still going hard in Dragonair. Like, it's hard, like probably too hard. And like,
no such thing.
Right. So it's like, that it takes time. So no, I don't really play anything casually. Even when I play like a console game, the first thing I do is I go look online. I'm like, all right, what's the meta? What should I be looking for? Like, if it's a game I've never played, I'm like, all right, what do I need to be unlocking? What is the most efficient start? I know Chosen just did a video about that. Like yesterday or something, like getting an efficient start, getting your link, right? What epic do I want to start out with in Raid, right? So it, like, I'm that guy now. I wasn't that guy before I started playing Raid. Before I started playing Raid, I was a casual gamer, but Raid Shadow Legends is the first time that I'm actively playing a game with a community. And so it changed me as a gamer, and it changed how I approach games. Yes, I've played games in the past. I've wanted to be good at them. I've wanted to, do all these things, but I wasn't like in a community. I wasn't talking with other people about these games. I was just, I have competition built up in my head. I've played COD. I've played, Fortnite. I played a ton of games, man. A ton of sports games. I was big on sports games. And like, yeah, I'm creating.
Games? Like Madden and
2K.
Oh, 2K.
Strictly 2K. Like, I used to play 2K heavy. And that was my guilty guilty gambling addiction before.
Because they have like the ultimate team and stuff, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And like my, you have they have like a card game essentially in there as well. So I was like heavy, dude, in the card. I don't even remember the name.
They lured you in, huh?
But they lured me. Your audience though is your what's the, I don't say demographics, but like what type of players do you have in your audience? Is it a bunch of people that are like, oh man, we're gonna go hard, right? We're gonna get into this, or is it like, oh, I'm casual, I like to watch you try hard?
I think that my audience is about as casual as I present, right? So I still present as that guy who is super casual. As far as because there's so many aspects of the game outside of just Hydra Clash and CVC. And I don't push Hydra Clash or CVC content, right? These are things that I
not
push out.
I mean, if that's what you're passionate about, why aren't you pushing that?
Because nobody cares about it, bro. People don't care about CVC. People are pissed about Hydra Clash. Like,
okay, so and this is kind of gets to the heart of what I was wondering, because when you were, I'm like, oh, what's your favorite? And before we got started, I'm like, oh, what's your favorite part of the game? And you're like, Hydra Clash. Freaking that's what made me quit the game. Like what? And I am not a casual player. I'm not. Although I don't think it was Hydra Clash. It's just straight up Hydra. I think I felt like there was just too many chores at that point. And no, nothing bad about it. I think Raid is honestly a really great game. It was just like time constraints. I had other stuff going on, whatever. But maybe speak for your audience for a minute, right? What do you think that Raid could do to fix that? Because it's a major part of content. It's supposed to be a part. It's your favorite part. It's what you brought you to your community. It's what brought you and got you connected to all the great people I'm sure you know at this point. What could they do that? Doesn't everybody want that? Like, isn't that what not everybody, but a lot of people want that?
I think some connection. I mean, I feel like obviously Raid will make strides to make it as balanced as they can, but I don't think it's a Raid issue in totality. It's not, and we can't. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. We can't say it's a Raid issue.
Okay.
Because there's so many other factors that come into first why people want to win. I had a conversation with my old clan leader, and then like I still communicate with them and try to help them as I can, like recruiting and things. It's not in totality a Raid issue, right? It is I want to win and not lose issue, which is a bigger conversation in itself, right? Nobody wants to
Are you saying the incentives are not aligned for people to be interested in trying, or are you saying that your thesis is that most players are not really competitive? Is that kind of what side of that coin are you on?
I mean, I can't tell anyone how competitive they are, but obviously the incentive is not there for most people. The incentive isn't there.
Or don't love direct competition. Maybe that's the best. I'm not saying not competitive, but you know what I mean, like that are not that into direct competition.
I don't know. I feel like as humans, we innately like competition in a way. It drives us in our daily lives, right? People want to get ahead, right? You want to have a position that brings you in a lot of money, whether it be a job, whether you own your own company, whether you do this, right? Some people want to look the best. Some people want to, smell the best. Some people want to have the nicest car, right? So competition is inherent it's human nature. Competition is literally human nature. So I don't know that we can fully separate it when we talk about how people are approaching a game, because it's like, you said yourself, right? Hydra is one of the reasons you quit. And not even Hydra Clash, but just Hydra itself.
Just Hydra, yeah.
Just Hydra itself, right? And that's not necessarily because of the competition, but
not at all. I was very, very competitive and excited to do, but it was just like, yeah.
Right. So, I don't think that, just to go back to the point I was making, I don't think it's in totality something that Raid has to change. I think we also have to change how we approach these things. And I think that is probably why I enjoy it, because I approach it differently. I started to approach it differently. And then, I get in this clan and it's like, okay, we're actually winning. Why are we winning? Because we prepare. And even if we do lose, and that's, we have lost at various points over the last 2 years, right? Probably twice. But, we have prepared. And in those losses, we assess these things. And it's like,
you go back to the tape. What happened?
We go back to the tape and we realize that everything else that people are talking about is just ego. And none of that matters when you're trying to actually assess what's going on. Your ego does not matter, right? How much you spent or you want to check somebody else's pocket, none of that matters, right? What did we do? What didn't we do? What did they do? What didn't they do? Let's just stick to the facts. And I feel like, it's hard to separate your ego, man. When your ego is bruised, it's human nature. So I feel like, Ray can do a lot. We also can do a lot.
One thing,
go ahead.
Yeah, no, thanks. One thing I would want to ask is, with us coming into a market that's been around for 10 years 10 plus years with these kind of games like Raid, a tough part can be, the sunken cost fallacy, where people are like, oh, I've been playing Raid for 5 years. I've spent this much money. Do I really want to go try another game that's like Raid or in this genre? I've already invested so much here. With you being in a top clan, is that like, is there anything that we could do to set ourselves apart? Where it's like, if you guys did this, that's what would actually get some of these most dedicated players to take the initiative to be like, you know what? This might be my new main game. And do you foresee that being a challenge? Like when Dragonair came out, did you see people be hesitant to be like, nah, man, like I already play Raid. I'm not about to go do this. And was there something, basically my main question is there something, Dragonair could have done that what's the most impactful thing to lure people into giving a new disruptor a chance?
Yeah, well, I think, the reason that Dragonair is in the position it is, and I believe how Hades actually, he did a video breaking down just like statistics of like where Dragonair is versus Watcher versus Raid. It was actually really good. And just looking at the charts, and this is my personal experience with Dragonair. I think that Dragonair, the success that it has is because there is a very limited amount of things that you can purchase in this game. It's limited. They've pretty much capped, right? And that is them trying to, have, balance. So I feel like, as a game, you do have to make money. You have to have, certain ways to make money, whether it be charging for the game or charging for things in the game, or you're running ads or what have you. But I feel like they've done at least a decent job, right? And to go back to the point that you said, Chosen, about, people not wanting to invest more money. There's 2 people I know in particular that were very apprehensive about playing this game. One of them I convinced to start, and now he can't stop playing it. And it's not because, he's invested a ton and he's now like, I can't let go. I've spent all this money. No, it's because they have a genuinely good game. And so I feel like if you all just create a good game, some people might say, hey, I don't want to spend all this money. It's going to be Wells and it's going to be all it is. But it's like, hey, man, Dragonair is a game where you can go through the whole season, never pull a Lego, and be fine. You can still place in the top 100. I did it. Season 1.
Never pulled a Lego, got to top 100. Damn, nice.
I got a Lego. I mean, obviously you get free airage, right?
Good ones, right? But like, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't need to go buy all of these dice and get all of these Legos in order to, 1, complete the game, and then 2, benefit from trying to be competitive in it and place high. And so I feel like if you have a good game, right, you have an interesting game, something that feels different when you play. I think that's a big part for me, is just something that feels different. And I think that's why, like, I still play Dragonair, because I need something that feels different than Raid. Like,
yeah,
I need something that's that I can like juxtapose, and just step outside of Raid for a second, run around on my horse or whatever. Like, I need something that feels a bit different.
Talking about Diablo 4? Was that a Diablo 4 reference, or?
I mean, even if it's, Diablo 4 as well. Like, and I've never played Diablo, but like, I wish I would have.
Oh, H-Dub, you're killing me.
Still time. Dude, I didn't have the time chosen.
Yeah, no, it's an investment. It's time. Yeah, it's a time investment to say the least.
I watched a lot of you guys' content on it, and I was like, all right, this is definitely a great game because there's so many people playing it. I have the time, man, and like
you gotta make choices.
You gotta make choices. You gotta make choices. But I feel like if you guys just make a good game, all of you are gamers. All of you understand what you would want in a game and what people that you have, played with want in a game. I feel like as long as you make a good game, people will have some apprehension. They're gonna have these things because of their experience with other games, but that doesn't mean that they will never play your game. I feel like they will. They might inch there. They might not jump. I feel like you guys are in a unique. Let me pause for a second. You guys are in a unique position to where I feel like the entire raid community that is on YouTube is gonna at least download the Fateless game and try it. Everybody will. I don't think there's nobody that won't. Anybody that doesn't is just a hater. And like, like everybody's good.
You heard it here.
Yeah, like everybody's waiting for this game, bro. So I don't think you all are gonna have an issue with people like having apprehensions about. I don't want to invest too much, or
we just gotta deliver, man. That's
deliver, bro. You guys literally it's about to be like put on a plate. It's on a platter. Like we're here waiting.
Yeah. We just have to not swat it out of someone's hands. Like that's about all it is, right? Man. And I really think that what you're highlighting is like, yeah, it really is. Yes, people invest in these games and they spend a long time in them, and a lot of people will even like hold on to those games for a long time. They might keep playing Raid, or like if use another analogy, they might keep playing Magic the Gathering. These things that they've really spent a long time and invested in. It doesn't mean they're not going to come play the game. Doesn't mean they're not going to be a part of the community and have a good time and check out some of the amazing things that we're building or at that point that we will have built. So, yeah, man, I'm glad that you're on the same page with us because that's.
Sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions. Dirk or Sham, feel free to jump in if you ever want to. But one question that, and especially with you being a teacher and kind of working with lots of different people in life. One question I like to ask from people is, with us doing a game kind of centered around myths and legends and all sorts of these, is there something that jumps out to you as like, you guys better have this person or this myth or this god as a legendary in your game because I would really want to collect them? Is there any, like, we had Drock on and he was talking about like the Braveheart movie with Mel Gibson. He's like, and he's talking about like Hercules. Is there something that stands out to you where you're like, this would be so sick if it was in your game? And someone's already said Robin Hood.
Come on, man. You gotta let him say it.
I really like the Sandman. The Sandman.
Sandman from like from the comic perspective or from well, I don't know how deep it goes. I've only seen the Netflix series, but he's like with the god of the dream world or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. That character, man, is interesting, right? Because I think if you put a character like that, right, that I don't know, rules over dreams, like let's not just take Freddy Krueger, but I feel like it brings a different element to the game when you talk about animations. What that was a good show. Look like it was a great show.
Yeah, it's interesting that you go in that direction. Actually, that you think like to the instead of like the traditional gods, myths, legends, right? The Athena. You're thinking like, I mean, you're getting ahead of it, right? You're thinking like, oh, maybe there's a collab here. Maybe there's like some characters that we could bring in. Okay, so Sandman. I mean, that's definitely a hot take. I mean, I think it's really cool. I think that would be a really interesting. That character is just really different, really very different. I guess is the best way to put it. Yeah.
Like I'm into. So my wife's huge like sci-fi nerd. We watch a lot of sci-fi. So if you, I don't know, man, I get shout. You take any character from the Foundation or
the other way. So you're like let's go to the future because we're like the past right now. So you're like, that's cool, but I need to see some future in there at some point.
Yeah, future or even metaphysical. When you talk about shows like his Dark Materials, what these characters are embodying is something totally different than what you see in your average game. You might see it in something like a Mortal Kombat where they have, you know, characters that are doing all kinds of crazy things. So I like to think about a character that could, I don't know, do something metaphysical to you. I feel like it brings a different, it just brings a different feel to the game, man.
Man, when we were doing the research for some of these gods in some of the factions that are unannounced, I'm not no spoiling right now, but there's some weird stuff. So like I think you'll be you're pleasantly surprised when we show you some of these characters, because like, you know, we're starting off getting people used to the concept. We got Odin, we've got like Aphrodite. I know we've kind of like talked about. Got like Musashi, so people are kind of understanding. Okay, cool. This is
Leonidas.
Leonidas. There's some crazy stuff out there. I'm not gonna lie. There's some really cool. So hopefully you'll we'll kind of scratch that itch for you.
Yeah, man. But I mean, you know, obviously ancient gods. I'm very much into that as well. So yeah, I don't doubt that you all are going to do the research and put in the time, and I'm expecting delivery just like everybody else. I feel like everybody is so confident in you all that you really
no pressure, right? No pressure, right?
No pressure, no pressure. But like, I gotta say it, I feel like you guys can't fail, man. You have a ton of support. Like I envision it as, you know, Goku he's getting the spirit bomb ready.
Spirit bomb?
He's getting all of the energy.
That is a great analogy. That is a great analogy.
We as a community,
we have to make a meme on that. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, we're pouring our energy into
Simon. We'll have Simon's face, and he'll be going.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
That's awesome. I mean, it's so true. Like, you know, between the community and like community of like creators and like the people, honestly, the gaming community. Like, I just went to a conference. That's kind of like a smaller, it's called GamesBeat. It's a summit, and man, the gaming community is just so supportive. Like, every person you talk to, doesn't matter, you know, what level they're at, what they do, who they work for, where they've worked, how long they've been in the industry, doesn't matter. They are open and helpful and kind, and I feel like that's like in a nutshell, that's our community. That's actually one of the biggest things that I loved about the raid community is overall, and there are some outliers, of course, but overall, everyone is very positive, very helpful, and it's not like that same like, oh, you put a video out and there's like 200 hater comments, right? Just to get you warmed up. It's all very positive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, Cousins, you get that kind of same feeling?
Yeah. I'm definitely surprised because we meet people that have worked on League of Legends and like people that have been like titans in the industry, and you know, we're kind of like, you know, maybe in that second tier, but we're very new. You know, we're not like a Blizzard, you know, or something. And these people genuinely take the time to talk to us and kind of interact with us. So yeah, it's definitely been a great experience.
Or even work on the project.
Yeah, exactly. We've got some fun connections to share with all of you. And then obviously the amazing community, the creators like yourself and all the people in the Discord and everything. Everybody's been super cool and supportive. So we're just as excited as you all are to hope that we can deliver something epic as well. And is there anything you guys wanted to get in there and talk about? Is there anything I didn't bring up or hasn't been discussed yet before we kind of wrap up? Is there anything that we didn't touch on?
I mean, for me, this has been a great chat. I like to, you know, since you're kind of in this really interesting position where you're kind of teaching, you're a content creator, you're a father, it sounds like, or a family man.
Yeah, I'm married. We have a son. He starts school in a few months.
A lot of stuff. So what's next, man? What are you doing? What are you doing next?
Next is just, you know, I just want to stay consistent with what I'm doing. Obviously, I have some goals. You know, I look at all of the things that the people in the raid community are doing. Obviously, I want to do some more of those things. You know, I would like to collab more with, you know, creators. I want to get back to how I was a year ago, because I did this super long sponsorship. So I just started back making raid content. I had to do Dragonair content for 5 months because of sponsorship. So that was crazy. But just stay consistent, man. I actually enjoyed IRL a lot, and content creation is a way for me to express. So if nothing comes of it, then fine. But Yeah, maybe one day I'll be signed to AMG. Maybe one day I'll be working for Hell Hades. I don't know, man. I've thought of a lot of things, right? And obviously all of these things take time. So we'll see where the road takes me. I'm not gonna say too much.
Well, you seem like a really genuine, awesome person, man. So I mean, it's always a pleasure. It's easy to tell, who the real people are. You know what I mean? Like someone that's not trying to be fake, not trying to say something just to make a connection or whatever. And you seem really real and genuine. So man, it's an absolute pleasure just to get to chat with you and to talk through this. We should do it again, man.
I appreciate you guys, man. That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah,
all right, we want to wrap this up.
Yeah, thanks a lot, H-Dub, for joining us, and massive shout out to all of you for watching the whole episode. We'll have links down below to HWZ's content, so you can check out all the stuff that he is doing, and then also the Discord if you'd like to be part of the community and share your feedback, as well as down in the comment section. Let us know, what you want to see and your opinions of the different topics we discussed today. But yep, thanks guys, and we will see you in the next Fateless podcast episode. Peace.